Meantime, the Biden administration unveiling the first 10 drugs subject to Medicare Part D price negotiations today, kicking off a process aimed at making costly drugs more affordable. The list includes some of the most widely prescribed medications used for patients with type 2 diabetes, blood clots, and rheumatoid arthritis. But with revenues and profits in jeopardy, drug makers like Merck and Johnson & Johnson have already filed lawsuits to declare the move unconstitutional. For more on what the Medicare decision means for pharma stocks, let's bring in Jared Holtz. Jared, great to have you with us always. In terms of looking at the stock reaction, there really wasn't much of a reaction. I heard a lot of, explanations like this was all expected. We don't know if it's going to actually come about. So then what will make some stocks that are trading at depressed valuations actually break out then? What's missing here?
Yeah, so I do think there was an expectation here. We've been talking about this issue for about a year, the IRA and what CMS was going to do. The streets kind of come up with their lists. It was mainly right. They need drugs. They need pipelines. They need growth prospects to get investors to say, OK, I'm willing to invest in this company, in this stock for the next 3 to 5 years. And without that clarity, without that revenue growth through the decade, I think it's pretty hard. And I think also other growth sectors are acting better. I think it's tricky. OK,
so how is there actually a discount put into the pharma stocks for specifically Medicare Part D as well as the future Medicare Part B negotiations? And how much of a discount do you think that is at this point?
I think so. I think at least a couple multiple points of a discount. Okay. I think the group is traded at a discount to the S&P for as long as I've been covering the sector. And I think drug pricing and the political overhang more broadly is the chief reason why. So we'll have to see how things go.
Jared, but if you think about that list, those are those are drugs that are all possibly coming off patent, so not that big a deal. Is there any politics involved in the companies, though, who had the biggest exposure here in terms of, is J&J, some of the companies, anything about that? And how did they come up with this list? I mean, it seems a little bit arbitrary.
Right. I don't think there was too much politics in it. I think they were looking at essentially what the biggest Medicare spend was on a line item basis by company. And this is kind of what they thought was most reasonable based on that analysis. If you kind of listen to what they've been saying, I don't think it was politically motivated. I think it was kind of even if you look at Pfizer, Merck, Bristol. To me, there was no real, heavy motivation here. Pretty down the line, not a big deal.
Pfizer's a $36 stock. It was a $36 stock 8 years ago. I mean, it had a huge room of the upside, but it's almost like a mean reversion trade. What can get them out of their stock purgatory, if anything?
Well, I think if they can close this deal, the CGen deal, I think that'll give investors a little bit to bite on, a little bit to chew on in terms of a positive catalyst. The growth dynamic that Seattle had prior to the deal, I think, is a positive. That could get it up a little bit. I don't think materially. And they also need to really execute on all the transactions that they've done since 2019. They've been very acquisitive. They've done deals in the migraine space, deals in the sickle cell space. All of those kind of have to manifest to where we get a better company.
I want to talk about Lilly and Novo Nordisk, which have the highest multiples thanks to the weight loss drugs. And so Ozempic as well as Mounjaro are covered under Medicare Part D if they're prescribed for diabetes management. So what are the chances that these drugs come next?
Oh, it's a matter of time.
It's just
right?
a matter of
time. These drugs.
So they will have a synthetic end to exclusivity for their biggest moneymakers right now.
I believe so. It depends on the ramp of revenue and how significant these are for the Medicare population specifically. But I would think within the next few years, for sure, there will be some impact. I think Ozempic will go first. Mounjaro might take a little bit longer because the weight loss drug, if you look at Wegovy and Mounjaro for Novo and Lilly respectively, those populations are probably not huge Medicare populations, so I'm a little bit less worried. But Ozempic could surely go maybe next year or the year after.
So many questions surrounding that in terms of what the model looks like then, but also with the select data on Wegovy, if it is shown that it is going to be prescribed to reduce cardiac events, then does that change the game in terms of Wegovy now being prescribed for that and covered under Medicare and therefore subject to these caps?
It's possible. I mean, these are all the things, these are the dynamics that I think are going to shift over the next few years as the populations change, as the drug goes from a diabetes drug to an obesity drug, and we're going to kind of have to see how that plays out. But I think these are definitely going to be under the gun at some point.
I'm sure you've done the back of the envelope calculation. What does that do to the valuations here? What does it do to Lilly if you assume Ozempic goes under a price cap in the next year or two?
Well, I think for Novo, for Ozempic, Lilly for Mounjaro, if these drugs are under price scrutiny and there's degradation, I think at the first sign that you could see the revenue start to decelerate, we're years away from that. That's when you're really going to start seeing the multiple compress. I think we're a couple years away from that, but these are trading at 3 to 4x the group. So you don't really need much for it to converge a bit.